Thank you everyone for joining this conversation. I'm really happy that there is a chance to organize it on a very special day. So, today is a Valentine's Day that signifies a love, and there are different types of love. And the love to our planet, towards our neighbors, towards our mission in terms of professional goals, in terms of our environmental aspirations, are also very meaningful, and they are triggering the development of our planet and of our humanity in general. My name is Karina Radchenko. I'm from Ukraine. Recently, we have founded PAIS as a partnership for advancing innovative sustainability. Our key purpose is to create a platform where active SDGs leaders from worldwide can share their visions and thoughts and can finally brainstorm unique solutions to very pressing problems which our world is currently facing. And we are here today for several reasons. The first reason is, of course, the participation of young people in all the decision-making processes is of the highest value. Without us, the world will not change for better. It's evidently, and we have already started moving towards realizing our environmental aspirations, and we have very meaningful programs and projects that we can share, because only through sharing stories, we learn from each other, we discover ourselves through different perspectives, not the least from the perspectives which are quite unique of our own countries. And let me tell you a very brief story. I think it would be very descriptive in terms of our today's meeting. It's a Chinese story of a peasant who decided to remove a very, very high hill which was located on their village. First, when he started doing so, people were passing by saying, "You're so small, how could you remove this enormous hill?" But he continued doing, and then other people also joined him. And just like with their handshakes, moving these pieces of soils through several generations, finally they reached their goal. What the story teaches us, first of all, is that we are never too small or too young or too old to make a difference. And the second aspect, we can do nothing alone. Every contribution matters, and through combining this individual contribution, we can reach really great and big global change. So thank you so much once again. Today we will showcase the experiences. You are all trailblazers in your particular countries, in your particular communities. We have today representatives of Ethiopia, South Sudan, Pakistan, Peru, India, Zimbabwe, and many other countries, Timor-Leste, also Tanzania, and shared together our stories, I hope will be heard and followed in the other communities. And I hope that one day our meetings will be a good tradition. So thank you once again, and I think we can start with our first speaker. But just before, feel free to write in the chat. So it will be, we are all panelists, we are all conversationists. Feel free to share your vision, to raise questions, to join this discussion. Each participant will speak approximately 6-7 minutes. Then we will have questions and answers part, and at the end of our today's meeting, we will have overall conversation on what does innovative sustainability mean for you. Elizabeth Gulugulu Machache, environmentalist, climate activist from Zimbabwe. She has been part of many influential organizations, not the least Climate Youth Initiative on Climate Change, Zimbabwe, Enable Women Community, UNGO, the official youth constituency of the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change, and many others. So, thank you so much, Elizabeth, for joining and this chance to hear from your experience. The floor is yours, please.
Thank you so much, Karina. Please confirm maybe in the chat box if you can all hear me clearly.
Yes, everything is fine.
Okay,
Clear.
Thank you so much. Thank you. So today I'm basically going to talk about sustainable development goals and youth engagement. This is based on a case study from Zimbabwe, what young people in Zimbabwe have been doing, how we've managed to mobilize ourselves so as to attain the SDGs and our respective roles in our different organizations. Next slide.
Just a moment, yes.
Thank you so much. So I will not spend much of my time introducing myself. Karina has already done that. So we need to understand the importance and the relevance of us to attain the Sustainable Development Goals. We have the 5 Ps that need to direct us. We cannot do anything for people without the people, which it stands for one of the P, which is people. Then the other P is planet. In order for us to achieve our goals, we need to make sure that we are protecting our planet, we are conserving our planet, and we are taking good care of it. Our planet without people can survive very well, but us as human beings, we cannot survive without our planet. We depend on our planet for food, for water, and various livelihoods. Then partnerships. It is very important for us to achieve our goals. We need to make sure that we have sustainable partnerships. This could be amongst youth individuals and implementing agencies, youth organizations, and respective government representatives and departments. We need to make sure that we are also in a peaceful environment, because without peace, we cannot achieve anything. We need to make sure that we prosper at the end of it all. So these 5 Ps, they're quite important because they are going to guide us and determine whether we are going to fulfill the SDGs or not. Next slide. So what we did is last year in Zimbabwe, we hosted the African Regional Forum on Sustainable Development Goals. So there was a need for youth engagement. So this youth engagement was based on gender balance. We wanted to make sure that we had a fair gender representative from all provinces. We wanted to make sure that we were represented through all the provinces. I'm talking about geographical location. We wanted those young people that are doing the active work on the ground, that are in the rural communities, that are often missed by these opportunities. We were targeting an age from 15 to 35 years, because for your own information, this was a 2 weeks conference. We wanted to make sure that in our engagement, we were diverse and also were inclusive. This means engaging and including young people that are living with disabilities. Next slide. Now, at the Africa Regional Forum on Sustainable Development Goals, we had clear objectives. Our number 1 objective was to engage and improve and build momentum, making sure that we are also contributing something on the table, making sure that we are pushing the decision makers to do the right thing, focusing on the 5 Ps that I mentioned on the introduction. So as you can see on the first picture, this was the UN Deputy Director, Amina Mohammed, and the UN Youth Envoy, Aya. We also had a representative of young people that submitted their interventions. Then on the other picture, you see that there's also a young person who was also interacting and engaging with decision makers. These were ministers from different countries. This is how we managed This is how we made sure that young people's voices from Zimbabwe were heard at the Africa Regional Forum on Sustainable Development Goals. Next slide. Our work basically, as me under the organizations that I've been working on, I've been focusing more on Sustainable Development Goal number 13, which is taking urgent action on climate change. We have done this through partnering with several organizations. I've listed the organizations UNDP, UNCCLAN, ACT Alliance, the Environmental Management Agency, including the Ministry of Environment, Climate, Tourism, and Hospitality Industries. We have done a number of online campaigns, engaging young people so as to bridge the gap, the policy gap that is there. We have managed to reach out to the most vulnerable communities, teaching them possible adaptation measures when it comes to the effects of climate change. We've also managed to do quite a number of initiatives so as to contribute into our nationally determined contributions. Next slide. Besides Goal 13, the other goal that we've been working on as the African Youth Initiative on Climate Change is Goal 14, making sure that we take care of life underwater. Life underwater can be very, very vulnerable because using our own eyes, we might not be able to see the impacts that we are causing in our water systems. As you can see, these are my colleagues. They were removing illegal fish nets that are in a lake which is called Lake Chiwero here in Zimbabwe. These fish nets, they do not only cause danger to fish, but they've also caused danger to birds that are flying in the sky. They've been trapped. Crocodiles, hippopotamus, they've also been trapped. Next slide. The other goal that we have been working on has been goal number 15. We understand that without rich biodiversity, we might not be able to survive. Without bees, we do not have the food to eat. Without trees, we do not have the medicine. Without quite a number of species on this world, we might not survive as human beings. So biodiversity protection, which is life on land, this has been quite a goal that we've been working on as a group of young people. And last year we introduced what we call the Lake Chiwero Challenge. And this was not going to be possible if it was not for Goal 17, which is partnership of the goals. As you can see, a number of organizations and partners below that flyer. The purpose of this Lake Chiwero Challenge is to protect and conserve Lake Chiwero. Make sure that all activities that are done at Lake Chiwero are sustainable and promote human health and life. Next slide. Last but not least, what we have done is, as the young people from Zimbabwe, we have managed to create a platform where we can discuss about critical issues that are affecting young people, which are linking to various sustainable development goals. We have improved partnership amongst young people and amongst youth organizations. We've also submitted some proposals to the government of Zimbabwe under the Ministry of Youth. We've also engaged into ministerial dialogues. This was last year during the lockdown, where we have also been giving our, the things that are really affecting us as young people, so that we can get to talk from the ministers, because at the end of the day, they're the ones that are making critical decision making on behalf of us. And we've also, and are still contributing to the high-level political forum. This forum this year will be focusing on 9 development goals. And some of the goals that I've mentioned, they will be focused by the high-level political forum. Last but not least, without wasting much of our time here, I've mentioned all the activities that we've managed to do here in Zimbabwe as young people. And together we can. The Sustainable Development Goals can be achieved. We all need to make sure that we are speaking in one voice. We all need to make sure that our voices are being heard. We have to push. We continuously have to engage. And we should partner, which is Goal 17, for all our objectives in our respective and different SDGs. They should be met. The 169 indicators, they should be met. Our demands should be met. Our voices should be heard. So this is my last slide. Thank you so much.
Elizabeth, thank you so much for such enormously inspiring conversation and your vision. It was really enormously valuable, and I hope that this example will be heard further and disseminated. I have a question. What were the key challenges that you faced on your path? Whether it was very easy to move there, to push this partnership, or still there was some resistance from other stakeholders on this way?
Definitely, to be honest, it can never be easy when you're a young person, because people might think that you're not serious. People might think because you're a young person, your goals and your objectives are not so clear. But what I learned is consistency. We consistently have to push. Whether they believe you or not, you know your goals, you know what you want to achieve at the end of the day. We need to be consistent, and we shouldn't give up. There is no room, there is no time for us to give up. Because if we give up, we are giving up on our future. We are giving up on the next generation. So it's really, really not that easy, but we have to be consistent.
Evidently. Thank you so much for your message and for such wonderful presentation. Now we are going to the next speaker, Eng Youhanes Magok Nhial from South Sudan, founder of Nile Youth Development Actions, engineer, and a very powerful environmentalist who reaches and pushes the environmental agenda not only in his country but worldwide. And recently he is based in Ethiopia, and the author of very wonderful book about which I hope he will talk to us, author of Forgotten Youth of Nation. Please, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Karina, for this wonderful introduction. And I would like to say hi to everyone. I don't know the time there, but now it's afternoon in East Africa. And yes, my name is Eng Youhanes. I'm from South Sudan, the land of great abundance and Eden of diversity. This is how I put it. I'm currently working for the African Union Commission in Addis Ababa as a mining policy officer, working under the Department of Trade and Industry. Additionally, I'm the executive director of the Nile Youth Development Action, which is an organization that works at the grassroots, focusing on entrepreneurship, education, employment, and inclusive engagement to advance the local socio-economic development in South Sudan. And we have a vision also reaching all the Nile Basin countries. It is good today we meet in this special day, is the Valentine Days. So happy Valentine's Day. And it is good for us that we are doing it virtually with this great discussion in discussing the Sustainable Development Goals and our aspiration for achieving it as we enter into the last decade of Sustainable Development Goals. To give you a brief of what we are doing in South Sudan, you know, the idea of forming this organization known as Nile Youth Development Actions, it was out of young people being responsible to societal issues. You remember after graduation, sometimes young person is desperate to get to work, to get a job, to get something to do. So out of this passion, we came with the idea of forming this organization. Instead of us, jobs are very scarce. We cannot get it. The white collar jobs are not there anymore. So we come up of forming this organization for us to push our agenda, particularly the education that matches the job markets. It's not just of education, but education that fits the need of the societies. We push for element of entrepreneurship. It means even if I'm not educated, I still have an opportunity of venturing into entrepreneurship world, because everyone can be an entrepreneur. You just need the necessary skills. You just need the basic step for you to start your entrepreneurial journey. So we come up with these entrepreneurship classes. We give our trainees the basic tools for them to go out there and explore their passion toward providing for themselves and providing for their families, and also serving the local community in their areas. We focus on employment because there is a necessary skills a young person needs to know. For instance, digital skills. There are some students who have no opportunity of being mentored or being trained in the digital skills. So we have places where we give training for young people, at least to have these necessary skills for them to go out there and provide something for their communities and provide something for themselves. So we reached so far 100 trainees. We train them with the basic skills. In computer, we train them on how to use and how also to access opportunities. We also encourage students to go for proper education. We provide opportunity for a scholarship, because in Africa it's a bit hard for other families to go and study in a place where education is better. But there is a scholarship out there where we go and collect those scholarships, and then in return, young people, they have the opportunity of being enrolled in the best universities. So for the last 3 years, we succeed in creating impact with the young people, even for those who have less privilege of having access to internet. We go out there, we go to the village, we train them, and we get to know that they are getting the same opportunities the other young people in urban areas are getting. So these are our efforts as a Nile Youth Development Action. Coming to the Sustainable Development Goals, it is good. Young people need to be part of it. We need to drive this agenda of implementation of the Sustainable Development Goals. Particularly for us, we focus on Goal 8, which is decent work and sustainable economy for young people. So our economies need to be driven by the young people, because we believe we have the potential, we have the skills for industrial development. So we need to integrate the effort of young people with achievement of Sustainable Development Goals, particularly Goal 8. We cannot achieve the sustainable economic growth without considering the issue of climate change. We know climate change is a cross-cutting issue. So we cannot just shy away of taking care of our environment. I myself, I do have my master in environment and climate change, and I do researches where I compare the local context with what the international standard is. So we basically do researches related to environment, and it is our hope to encourage all the young people also to do actions that can preserve our environment, because without it, we cannot have a proper sustainable development goals. Additionally, we focus on the African Union Agenda 2063 with its 7 aspirations, particularly the aspiration that talk about the young people. An Africa whose development is people-driven, relying on the potential of African people, especially the young people. So our focus on how young people can drive this agenda as Agenda 2063. Recently, we engage young people with policymakers. We engage them with the regional organization. We engage them with the international organization for them to know that they are part of this sustainable development. Because without our inclusive participation, we cannot achieve the sustainable development we need and the world that we all want. So I will just conclude by giving you an African proverb that goes, it is the young trees that make up the forest. That means young person has the potential of providing a better, or preserving our environment, and we are a tech savvy. So this technology is our tools. Let's better use it for achieving the sustainable development goals and achieving the world that we all want. Thank you very much, and I'm glad to be here today.
And Youhanes, thank you so much for such amazing speech and for the messages highlighted. I also hope that they will be heard and applied in other communities. Could you please elaborate a bit more about your book, its focus, and I know it has great success, and I hope one day we will also have the chance to discuss it in more detailed way.
Yes, thank you very much. Yes, my book is written under the title, The Forgotten Youth of a Nation. It is focused more on the South Sudanese youth because we are forgotten in a sense that we are not included in policy making, in decision making. But unfortunately, you have heard maybe about conflict in South Sudan, conflict in Africa. We are all there. We are at the front, at the forefront. So it means if young people are involved in conflict, there is opportunity for us to reverse that, to be included in peace-making process, in sustainable development. So the book is talking about how we can encourage young people to be part of the development of a nation. If our leaders forget us, we have to remind them that we are there as a young people. We are there and we have what it takes to make peace, to achieve sustainable development. We are there. It's just a reminder of young people have the potentials. Let's work together. Let's have this co-leadership where young person and the older generation come together, decide for the current and for future generation. It is really a good book, and I hope maybe I will just share the link. It is already in the Amazon. If you wrote The Forgotten Youth of a Nation, and with my name, it will show up. Otherwise, I will share the link also to all of us here so that we can also have a look at it. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Wonderful topic, and it's very noteworthy that both our first conversationists mentioned this point of peace, because without peace, unfortunately, we cannot proceed also with other goals, because even the very opportunities that we are now talking, we can have this chance to discuss, it's because in our countries, it's relative peace. I'm also from the country affected by war, Ukraine, so I know how tangible peace can be. It's like air or sunshine. We are very adjusted to it when there are full of peace, there are lots of opportunities, but then immediately it can be changed with war. So not to allow this change to happen, young people should cooperate and eradicate the stereotypes which probably existed in previous generations. Thank you so much for such wonderful message, and I hope we will all read your book. Thank you once again. And now we are going to further discussion. Raoman Smita, wonderful woman, advocate from Bangladesh, a member of the Supreme Court of Bangladesh, founder of very powerful organizations, not the least Global Law Thinker Society, as well as she is the CEO of the World Book of Records. Raoman, thank you so much for joining. Looking forward to hear you now.
Thank you so much, Karina, for inviting me to talk with all of you, all the young people who have joined here and already working wonderful. I was just listening to everyone, and it is great. And the sustainability, that's the topic you selected, that is really perfect for this time. And I told you that I really wanted to talk about the young mindset for the sustainability. So I will start with what is actually the sustainable goals. Sustainable goals, we just know that there are some terms and 17 goals we have to achieve. That is what we are seeing. But what are those and why we have to achieve that? Why young people, or even all over the world, why people will work for it? It is actually our right. We have the right to live better. We have right to live healthy, and we have right to breathe in the fresh air. And what we are seeing, we are sick, we are getting sick, we are dying, and we may not get water in future for drinking water. We will not get fresh air to breathe. And you just look at about this pandemic time. What we are seeing, people are dying, and we are losing our generation, and people are just locked inside the room. So what is happening around the world now, it is just in front of us. All over the world, everyone is suffering this kind of sickness. I will call it a sickness all over the world. This is not just a pandemic, a virus came and then a vaccine will invented and then it will be gone. It is not. Actually, the thing is that if you guys have done the research, you will see that new things are coming, and it will be coming if we do not work for the sustainability. So what we have to do is that we have to have the mindset. It is not about age. It is not about the color or where we live. It is about that we have to take action right now. It is not about the future generation. It is about the present generation, in fact, because you see, we are suffering. When we are suffering, we are not getting resources. So what will happen to the future? That is longer after this time, right? So we have this time in our hand, and this is why I will request everyone is that definitely we are trying to do things from our own place. A little step maybe we are taking from any part of the world, but everyone that collaboration, partnering, these are the best thing can help all of us. So you see, today we just join from different part of the world and sharing our knowledge, ideas, and exchanging our thoughts. This is also kind of partnership, I will say, and I will thank Karina for organizing this program, in fact. And from my part, my experience is that Global Law Thinkers Society, the organization I'm working on, it is a multi-professional global networking platform. So the thought behind this organization is that from around the world, young people will join, come under one platform, because I feel that we have only one goal: to live happy and healthy, and live in peace. We cannot be happy when I just open a news channel or open a newspaper and I see that I am eating healthy food in the restaurant and other people are dying on the road. So I cannot live happy like that. I cannot even sleep or think like that. So I thought that why not we bring all the people from around the world all together. We have the same thought, same goal. So we unite and we work together. So when you are taking one initiative in Africa or even in Asia or Europe, what if we do it all together from different part of the world? That can be just be a tree plantation. If we start from Bangladesh, why not we share it with the ground, and all other people can join this initiative and we can step forward for it. So this is why we created this GLTS platform of the young people. We also exchange knowledge, we exchange ideas, we create projects, and we create the connection, the networking. So anybody can use this platform for their own activities and to take their initiative. We also need funds, or we need the person who can help us. So through this network, we actually can do that. We are creating this opportunity for this young generation, all come together, and we can inspire each other to do these things. So this is how this Global Law Thinkers Society organization came up in my mind, and we started working on it. And we found the benefit of it. Like now people are getting engaged more and more. And from different countries, there are different problems, different issues. But when we share with each other, then we can come up with the solutions. So this is how I will end up saying that let's unite, let's work together, and you are not alone in this. We are always there. If you look out for the world, you will find the right partner for you. And let's just work for not only for the goals, like the goals, rather thinking that this is what is our right, this is what we deserve, this is what we need, and nobody will come and say that this is your thing, you take it and just you can take it as a gift. You have to snatch your right. Nobody, the world is so difficult now, and it is getting more difficult. So I will just inspire you all. I already know that you guys are doing great things, but still I will request and inspire you that if you are doing something good, spread it your work, your activities, your words as much as you can, and collaborate with your own national organizations or individuals, or even international people or anybody you think, and just spread the good thing. People will come and join because everyone needs it. So thank you so much. Thank you again, and peace be upon you all.
Thank you so much for such inspiration. Actually, pandemics has shown us how vulnerable and interconnected we are all. Actually, we were thinking probably previously that if something happening on one part of the globe, the other part of the globe would not be affected by it. Now we can notice this shift in our mindset that we are all in one boat, we are all interconnected. And until all of us are happy, until all of us have access to resources, opportunities, and cooperation, we cannot be happy. No one cannot be happy. Thank you so much for your message, and I was also deeply honored to take part in the events organized by global law thinkers. Just wonderful, where representatives of different professions unite. And actually, it's also the goal of Partnership for Innovative Sustainability to bridge these connections and to find new ways of thinking about global problems and to find solutions. Raoman, what would you say to people who want to start connecting their communities? With what should they start to inspire others to get such a powerful effect of worldwideness?
Thank you, Karina. I will say, I will share my experience, what I did. I felt that I was not happy what is happening around me. Then I just went out there. I just spreaded my voice that I want to do this, and if there is anybody wants to join me. So when I spread it through the social media, even I was just walking around, even I went for solo traveling, and then I was just walking and connecting to the people, and I was talking to everyone. I was just I will say another thing also, that as a young person, I saw that many young people, they are a bit shy, or they are hesitating to talk to somebody. So this is a communication issues we face sometimes, that what the other person will think. But this is the barrier. You always remember that we are human being. Somebody who goes, they can refuse, this is their right, but you also have right to ask something or just approach your way. So what you will do is that just come out from your barriers, talk to everyone you find in front of you. That can be a child, that can be even baby. Just go outside, talk to the people, connect to them, ask them how they're feeling, try to listen to them, listen their words. And another thing about networking is that now if we have this resources, right, through online, we can do a lot of things. And you can see the power of Zoom. You just think that just only one app, but we are getting a big opportunity. So this generation actually getting a lot of things, but the generation have one problem, is that they do not know that how they will use it, because everything has, I mean, a coin has two parts, right? So there is the good part, there is the bad part. So how you are going to use and what information is right for you, you just go through it. Take life as adventure. I will say that just take it as adventure. Go out there. This is the whole world is yours. Just jump on it. Do whatever you feel. There is nothing wrong or right that way. There is nothing like perfection, or things have to be like so perfect. I have to approach so perfect. I have to look perfect. There's nothing like that. People will accept you when you accept yourself. So whenever anybody wants to take any kind of initiative that you feel, just go with it. Plan on it, that what you want to do, why you want to do, and if you do it, what are the things you are going to get from it, what are the benefit you will get, and same time what are the benefit the other people will get. Because if there is another problem regarding sorry, I'm taking a bit time, but I want to explain it, that sometimes what we do is that if we plan any kind of social business or anything, because we need fund, we cannot ignore it. Without the money we cannot do anything. Even if we want to do really good things, we actually need money. So but it is not necessary that only money can help you to do to achieve that goal. To achieve a goal or to make an initiative successful, only thing you need is that the mind and the determination. If you just decide that if you do this, this benefit is going to come, and you just stick to it, you will know that the magical things will happen. It will happen. And I'm not just saying it, I already have done so many things in my life, and I felt that that was magical. And when you are honest, and when you want to do something great for yourself, for the people, things will just set its own way. You just do not need to think what will happen next, if I can do it, or if this will be successful or not. It will be successful only when you decide to make it successful. It is just your decision, nobody else's, and nobody can stop you till you do not stop yourself. So thank you, Karina. I hope that I answered your question.
It's just wonderful words. Actually, our thoughts have the quality of materializing into reality. So just don't prevent yourself from thinking big and try to intensify all your energy, all your love into your projects. And then everything will be great, as the whole world will be attracted in terms of so positive energy that you disseminate. Thank you, Raoman, for disseminating this energy and for inspiring us. Currently, we are moving to our next wonderful speaker from Pakistan, Hafiz Jawad Sohail. He is SDGs advocate, climate reality activist, and also Unleash leader. The floor is yours, please.
Yeah, thank you, Karina, and thank you everyone for having me. And thank you. So, yeah. So this is about me. I am a trained climate reality leader and SDGs advocate. I have a background in geoscience, and currently I am doing my master's in public administration. And on my professional side, I have 6 years of experience in research and geoscience field. And yeah, I have a much of volunteer experience, and I have attended dozens of conferences, forums, and seminars. And yeah, this is my philosophy. I believe that a person need to be convinced inside before advocating for any cause, or whenever we talk about something, we should be convinced first inside ourselves. And yeah, the moral and ethical values, they have regained their importance. We have seen that the last decade many have ignored these things, but now they have retaken their importance in the society. When especially when we talk about climate ethics and just practices, and talking about taking care of the mother nature and diversity, these all are the moral and ethics values we are talking about. And yeah, here starts my journey. I am currently involved in many local and global forums. I am now currently selected as country coordinator for Conference of Youth 16, which is going to happen in Glasgow. And I am associated as a member with Yongo, official youth constituency of UNFCCC, and UNEP and GCY, which is a youth forum for United Nations Environmental Program. And I have written many social blogs on social issues. So you can find them on Google if you can just write my name, full name. And I love to work on social issues, and I care about human dignity civil society strengthening, youth, peace, social change, and environment. And I really believe that human dignity is the only parameter on the basis of which we can claim equality in this world. And it is not granted. It cannot be granted by anyone. It is intrinsic, and everyone has the right to live on these, values. So, yeah, I am not representing any NGO or organization here. I am here in front of you as an individual, as a youth. And when I talk about, talking about my journey. So, I want to focus on creating awareness in the society and advocating for the causes I care about. So for this, I join all platforms which can let me further my advocacy and struggle for the causes I care about. And this is important that I am a person who is convinced spiritually and religiously as well. So I want to work on climate change. It is my passion and sustainable development goal, obviously. So how I started by enrolling in many online programs. I've taken many trainings and workshops and certified training program to broaden my perspective and technical background. Because I already said that I want to be convinced inside before I advocate for anything. So I got training from many organizations like World Youth Alliance and Global Thinkers Forum. I participated in many campaigns like Anatomy of Action, and I'm currently also participating in many organizations. So here, this is something interesting that I participated as a talent in Unleash Innovation Lab that was held in Shenzhen, China in 2019. And this was really a unique experience because I met many cultures over there. There were the presence of 160 countries. So you can just imagine that the whole world was split in Shenzhen, China in 2019. And I really value this experience because meeting cultures and learning their experiences is of utmost importance for your growth as well. So we have to embrace each other. Yeah, we have to consider it as an asset, the diversity and plurality of the society. This is our asset. So we can really see innovation and sustainability based on that. So yeah, this I have already talked about that I am currently involved with many organizations. So I also advocated for global schools program of SPS and youth to localize the action in my community and to sensitize the teachers to talk about sustainable development goals and to really take on that practices in action. So one important thing is that what I am doing in my capacity is I recently made my YouTube channel to create awareness in local language. So not just the literate part of the society is part of the change, but each commoner, each common man should know what are the problems we are facing as a global society. And this is really my concern that how we can ignore those people, how we can imagine change when just a little part of our society understand the importance of sustainable development goals and the major part of our society doesn't know about it. So this is sometimes a theory which I hear from activists. For example, that in my country few people say that the youth who has gotten the higher education, they may be less than 5% of the population of the country. So they are the future leaders. They are going to take the positions in government and policy making. So uh, should we work on the other people who are just a common man? What role they would be having in future? So I think this is my concern that I want to actually work on that aspect as well. And if we leave them behind, then there will be dangerous consequences when major population will be left with no taken care of. So what are my aspirations? I really always look for any potential opportunities. I want to grow my network around the globe. And on Facebook, maybe I have more than youth leaders from more than 60 countries already. So I really enjoy networking, and I also congratulate Karina that she's doing the same, which is really impressive. So I want to create some impact in my surrounding. This is what I value. So I want to learn modern tools and skills which can, strengthen my struggle throughout the career. So everyone, I would be happy to connect with you all, and these are my credentials. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Hafiz, thank you so much for such amazing presentation, for all your patience and future aspirations, which will be also very impactful. They are already impactful. You are also a social advocate for sustainability and social blogger in this field. Evidently, communication for sustainable development goals means a lot, because without knowing that we have these challenges, we would not be able to target them and to work on them. How the perfect strategy, if we may call this strategy to be perfect, should look like in terms of promoting and advocating for sustainability?
Yeah, thank you for this question. So I really believe that we have to communicate our local society, and that can only be done through the local language, the languages we use for communication in our society, not just the English, because not everyone understands that. And when they cannot understand, they cannot take part in, the sustainable development goals or for the social change in the society. So we have to communicate through the languages which they understand. So that is one important thing which I have learned from my past experience.
Now we have another wonderful and inspiring conversationist, Isabel Fiafilio Rodriguez from Peru. It's a deep honor to have you on board here with us. You are working currently for the Minister of Education of Peru. You're also director of curator for TEDx UNMSM, which is a TEDx organization, independent TEDx organization. You have numerous important projects, and it would be a deep pleasure if you could share them with us.
For invitation. I am very, very pleased with you all, and I'm very happy to share my experience in this space with people of change. Okay, I am the director of curator or TEDx UNMSM in Peru. It's in a university, the University of the Diet. It's very nice space, so you learn other skills in all as to meet people who have good initiative and are working on way of change. I am an economist. I currently work in the Ministry of Education in Peru. I am interested in open data, innovation, and open governance issues. And this time I'm going to present a topic that I'm working on presently about open government that contribute to SDGs 16 and 17. An open government is characterized by being transparent, promote science, participation, and requires collaboration shifts in order to improve the quality of public service and allows use, prevent, and fight corruption. Another priority issue the government are working on and ensures compliance with SDGs of the agenda in each of the current in other regions. However, it's need to consider that these three basic principles of open government will contribute directly to the targets of the Sustainable Development Goals, but especially two of them, SDG 16, peace, justice, and strong institutions, and SDG 17, partnership to achieve the goals. My participation as an activist in open government began with the purpose of generating space for discussion on the advance and opportunity youth facing initiative in Peru and Latin America. Initially, with the Center of Applied Social Studies, and valid official from some Latin American countries. Also, to share experience with the Young, and thank you to the Young Institute of the Michoacan government in Mexico, with the purpose of motivation of the future generations, the open government becomes relevant in these times. From my expertise, share in general approach of the open government in Peru and what changed it present for the future. It was has been working on training. Open government is a fundamental strategy for the modernization policies of the state in accordance with the different laws in Peru, in other countries in Latin America, whose objective is a shift to more public management, efficient, and improve the equality of life of societies. According to the OECD, establishing open government implies that the citizens have greater confidence in the government, and policies are executed a law of codes that opens in generated of the new economic activities to the opening of the data, and the participation of citizens is allowed the time to share your knowledge. In this way, via transparent government with open participation, allow generating space for dialogue from the global perspective. Open government is related to the Sustainable Development Goals of the United Nations of the agenda. The relationship of the SDGs 16 with the open governments correspond to mainly to the goals such as the creation of the effective transparent institutions, ensure the adaptation of the inclusive and participatory decisions, guarantees access to public to information in accordance with the national laws. The relationship with SDGs 17 focus mainly on the open data management and the timely delivery information. So one of the goals refers to the availability of reliable data and of high quality. This is graded by gender, income level, age, race, ethnic origin, and geographic location, among others, making use of the information to development indicator that allow increasing in statistical capacity for development of the country. And to the Nations Institute of the Statistics and Information in Peru presents a platform for monitoring and tracking indicators for the Sustainable Development Goals that always also see the progress at the national and regional level. We also provide information on population and host economy, employment, social reality, environment, security, science, and information and communications technology, as well as studies such as the National Housing Service and National Census. For this reason, it is necessary to strengthen the institution with standardized timely information. Science users are scientists in general, as indication is a planned government strategy, which in one is will refer to the application of open government in the institution portal, with the framework is promotion policy of transparency, participation, and collaboration. It's about an open data platform with a purpose of delivery information simply. This is the reasonable through computer platform. On the other hand, it is necessary to recognize the work in government open the Secretary of the Public Management and has been doing of the President of the Council of Ministers in Peru. It's a search for providing standardized information through a platform Open Data National. Frames in government of data from the Peru state, which allows knowing the data sets in different categories, such as economy and finance, governance, transportation, social development, health, education, urban development, environment and nature resources, water and sanitation, food and nutrition, energy, and COVID-19. This last category reflects to a good indicator of openness of data. Due to the state of emergency, actually there are 100, more than 100 that states which can download different formats, which is considered necessary to according to their characteristics be complete, accessible, up-to-date, actionable, no hours, permanent, and undocumented. This purpose contributes to the open government development ecosystem. As an visualization of data and information, the management, transversality, and interoperability of the data, with the purpose that information is resource and at public value. It's a strategy of creation, co-creation, and co-design of public policy. Peru has been providing space of the development of open government that use the open data with its volunteering commit through their participation in progress of constitution of the Alliance for Open Government. In approximately 9 years ago, where action plans were established based on the collaboration of different agents, society, civil, public officials, and private sectors, on an organization non-governmental, in addition to summarizing for you make your contribution. Joy, the Alliance was given with the proposal to generate a more efficient state, the confidence of scientists, and create a good country perspective for transparently, the fight against corruption, and the use of accurate information technology. Currently, Peru has been carrying out 3 actions. We have opening to science participation, science, it was carried out open way. By invitation by email, the society organization that took the invite to participate in the plan co-creator process with 6 teams. And I have had different experience about these plans of the open government in Peru, but in the last time, I consider one of the documents that evidence results in open data barometer for Latin America, which has opportunity to be a research. The result of Peru are not good signs in this position. Is it in position 9 within Latin American countries? That is why I have now been elected a part of the committee to implement the data government strategy in Peru, and I think it's a good opportunity to contribute to the sustainable development objective. It's an opportunity to know different people with different skills in this space. Thank you very much, Karina, for this space.
Isabel, thank you so much for your wonderful contribution. You've mentioned very important aspect of open data. Could you please elaborate a bit more on what do open data mean for young people? How it can expand their opportunities for participation, and actually open data having access to information is our fundamental rights as human beings proclaimed in the United Nations Universal Declaration and many other documents.
Okay, I consider that the last document, the Open Data Barometer, but is the result of the work with people, Latin American people. But it's necessary to consider this document around the world, because exists this document in the page in Open Data Barometer for different countries, but especially Latin America, it's necessary work a lot work with this space. For example, I currently work at the strategy for the open data in Peru, but it's necessary that young people work or immerse in the government science world, university, because it's a more important spaces to the participation with the young people.
Thank you so much for mentioning the experience of your country. It seems that like we were going to Peru for the time of your speech, understanding how it works. Thank you so much once again for contributing. Now our last but not the least speaker is from Timor-Leste, Dircea Sarmento Bello. She's co-founder and vice president of Timorese Youth Initiative for Development, as well as she currently works for United Nations Development Program, UNDP, in Timor-Leste. She has professionally studied environmental management and providing these professional solutions. Thank you so much for joining. Probably something with the sound.
Oh yeah, sorry, I forgot to unmute it. Hi everyone, thank you Karina for having me here. It is sad to say that the internet connection here in my country is so poor. So if during my talk, if we experience the internet connection loss or something, then I'm sorry in advance. Okay. And just please let me know on the chat box if we experience internet connection. Okay, well, my name is Dircea and I'm from Timor-Leste. I know this is a new country and most people don't pronounce it right, and it's not your fault and it's okay. So yeah, it's Timor-Leste. This is the official name, but in English we call East Timor. So for those who don't know Timor-Leste, we are a new country, just got independence in 2002, so it's very new here, and we're located geographically, we're part of the Southeast Asia. Okay, so here in Timor-Leste, empowering youth in climate action and promote sustainability isn't something that common in other country, and it's not a common topic that is discussed among youths here in Timor. So under my youth groups, the youth group that you mentioned, the Timorese Youth Initiative for Development, we founded together with my friend. We founded in 2017. We focused on the leadership and entrepreneurship and other wide development activities. But because we came up from different backgrounds, so we touch in different sectors, different areas as well. And in the area of environmental, we haven't done much. We're still new to this. So the youth group that we work voluntarily. So it depends on our time and the commitment as well. But for the environment, as I mentioned, that this is not a common topic here in Timor. So what we're trying to do here, we want to empower you to be active in tackling the environmental issue and get an understanding and engage with other youths who have been working on the environmental sector. So aside from the online and offline campaign, the training and other stuff, one of the big projects I would say that we have organized so far is raising awareness through art competition. So basically, we use arts, especially the performing theater and the visual art, to influence environmental behavior. We use the challenge prize approach. So basically we call for the application and we received more than 10 youth groups, and we only selected for 8 youth groups. So 4 for the performing theater and another 4 for the visual arts. So what we're doing is, after we selected them, we gave them a month to develop their idea, their arts idea. So while they're developing their idea, we also provide a mentoring. We connect with the NGO and the individuals who have been experienced in arts, theater, and environmental to mentor them and to accompany them during their idea development stage. So after a month, we held a final competition. So it was a great event because we reached more than 200 youths, and we are so glad. We're so glad about that. And we also had a VIP guests such as the ambassador of United States to Timor-Leste, and we also have a representative for the European Union and also the Secretary of State for the Environment and other international agencies as well. And after the competition, and for the winners, because all of them are winners, basically, we just choose which one is first, second, and third, and so on. So for the incentive, we provided them an incentive, and with that incentive, we want them to use that incentive to create another impact. So the reason why we chose youth groups is because here in Timor we already have several youth groups, but there are lack of funding, lack of opportunities, and also lack of engagement with other entities. So we use that opportunities to connect them with the NGO, the relevant NGO, the agency, and also the government, and also use that incentive to implement the idea that they've been wanting to implement, but because the team that they don't have, for example, money and so on. So we are so glad that all of them committed to use that money to create another impact. So this is not a this project, I would say that is quite a great successful of one of our activities, because we are through this project we created not a single impact but a double impact. Yeah, and it was back in 2019 actually. And for now, because due to the pandemic and we know that the situation is uncertainty, so currently we're working on another project as well, and we try different approach. We just identify one of a small village in Dili. Dili is the capital city of Timor-Leste, and as I mentioned, that the climate change issue is not a burning issue here in Timor. So what we're trying to do is we already selected one of the small village in Dili to empower the communities to see the relationship of the climate change with the issue that they face in their village. For example, the water shortage, the deforestation, and so on, and the water pollution as well. So for this project, we try another approach, which is we act as a mentor. We're not the implemented like the organizer or something. We just acted as a mentor for the community. We want to gather the community in that area to see and to speak up what the problems that they face in their village. And also we want to allow them, to give them a space and allow them to explore the idea and to come up with their own solution. And we want them to decide what they want for their village. We just there to support the resources, the funding if it is required, and also provide them training. And this is what we've been up to this moment, and this is a pilot project. We hope that it can be implemented as we planned. I think that's all from me. I speak a lot about what is being done here, but still we are still new to this such thing, especially to our fellow youths. So right now and in the future, we want to empower more youths in Timor-Leste to be actively learn, educated, and engaged, because we know that the more they understand and the more they know and understand, the more they care and take action. Thank you.
Garcia, thank you so much for your wonderful speech, showcasting Timor-Leste experience and these particular approaches that you've used and you are using to empower and to enable your community. You've touched very important aspect of education and intercultural and cultural education as well are very meaningful components of reaching sustainable development goals. And here is also like role models. What is the impact by role models? As you've mentioned that some people teach other people and then they work on common projects and it's really, I would say, even not double effect, but multiplying effect because those people are also able to show their arts to the community and then proceed with that.
This is a tough question, I would say, but the impact of role model. Well, I would say that we all, I think, yeah, we all have our own role model, the one that we want, that inspire us and empower us to do something that we're passionate about. So since I've been involved in environmental activities, I can see that I'm quite I'm a role model for several youths out there, and I also forgot to mention it. I also started my own YouTube channel last year, and I already reached more than 1K subscribers, and I use that platform to empower youth and share any opportunities available, and also to share my knowledge, experience, and skills, and other educational stuff on my YouTube. So it's really important to have a role, to be a role model, because as you mentioned, that the impact is not only single, double, but it's multiple impacts. Because if we share something to a person, and she or he will continue that word to other people as well. So here in Timor, if we look at the context of Timor, because we're just we're in the transition of the conflict now. I would say that it's it's a post-conflict after several years. So the education here in Timor is still poor, and also like we're just behind. If we compare to the other countries in Southeast Asia, we're still a country that is behind and underdeveloped country. So the engagement and the connection, or the network that we have here and with other countries, is still minimum. So it is good to have a role model that can be a good example and good role model for other youths, that youth can do something, even it's not everything, but they can do something. They can how do I say, like I think I lost the word, but what I'm trying to say is it's important to empower them first, because most youth here in Timor, they feel unmotivated and discouraged to do something, because they know that it's so hard here in Timor to find a job. The unemployment rate is quite high. The opportunities is minimum. So those kind of stuff hamper them to get or to do what they want. So I think it's really important to have a role model to influence them, to empower them, so that they can have a confidence, and they can have an something that push them to do what they're passionate about. I don't know. I hope I answer your question. I was like all over the places.
Persia, thank you so much for such perfect and comprehensive answer. Today, you are our role model, and thank you for sharing your experience. And I hope this example of how to empower youth will also work in other communities. Thank you, everyone, for finding time, for sharing your contribution. I enormously appreciate it, and you are doing just incredible and amazing job. You are all at the forefront of our new era, the era of innovation, the era of sustainability, of tolerance, diversity, trust, the youth power, which is also coming and which is also very flexible and changeable even now. Currently, we have some time left. I have some general questions for you all. The first question is, what does innovative sustainability mean for you? How do you perceive the sustainability in quite innovative ways? You can provide the answers from your own perspective, from the perspective of your country, just to represent your feelings. As there are evidently no correct and single answer to this question. So let us probably start. Isabel.
Thank you so much for the invitation, and I am pleasure to know different people. I have a question about the development of SDG, in special in context in other continent, because I am American in Latin America, but I am happy to know different initiatives of the people in the world, in especially in SDGs, in different SDGs. I am happy to share different experience. For example, I am immersed in different situations in government, but I am happy to know different experience about the civil society and different space of the contribution with this SDG. And I think this is a good opportunity to share my experience with the government and complemented with a different experience with these people in this space.
Okay, in my own context, I think we are talking about being able to be creative so as to push the sustainable development goals. Coming up with, different kinds of solutions one can think of. It could be in the creatives, it could be the use of technology, it could be the use of, using community initiatives or indigenous initiatives that were once used previously by our ancestors. So I think it's a combination of all the things that I've mentioned. If we combine all that, it also allows us to be diverse in tackling the SDGs. So this is what I basically think, that you need creativity, being able to, thinking outside the box, coming up with different solutions, initiatives, could be the use of technology as well. So that's in my perception.
It's also about combination of previous tools and technologies with the innovative and new ones. Dircia, please, you switch on the microphone.
Okay, sure, yeah. I love what Elizabeth just mentioned. I think she covered what I've been thinking. So yeah, for the innovation, because we know that the climate issue and other environmental issue it's a complex issue. So there is no one size fits all for sure. So we need to think creative, and we need to consider the action and the perspective from people from different background, like she mentioned, the indigenous people and the youth and the experienced people and other people. So if So for the innovation, it's really important to have a innovation to, how do I say, like, to accelerate the implementation of the SDG, because one single solution cannot do it. Yeah, I think this is from me.
Actually, so this is also multidimensional perspective of involving various stakeholders and hearing these stakeholders as well to meet their particular needs in particular very targeted situation and case of particular community.
Oh,
Now,
am I
yes.
audible now? Yeah, okay, thank you. So for me, innovation means to make good use of technology and to find the solutions for that part of the society which cannot solve their issues themselves. So I think this is really a big thing to to find the solution for that part of society that cannot resolve their own issues. And the second thing is, when we link it with sustainability, it means without harming the mother nature.
Absolutely. So our natural footprint is localized and minimized as we are all human beings, and devastating the mother nature also means devastating our own nature, as we are part of this bigger and more planetary one. Thank you so much. Thank you also to, yeah, please.
I just wanted to add that diversity is the thing which makes it more beautiful innovation, because with the diversity we have the different minds and different solutions which come up at different times. So this is really a beautiful thing, and we are here together from many different parts of the world, which is really an innovation to me.
So we have a kind of diverse visions, but all these visions just comply each other. So we have like the full picture of more comprehensive sustainability. To conclude these very diverse ideas expressed today, I'm enormously happy that all of us are gathered today in this virtual space, and we have this opportunity to hear one another, to discover our cultures, which is very diverse. And despite the pandemics, despite all this crisis, we are still inspired and united, which is enormously meaningful. So, like the final point to provide the overall background of our discussion, what would be your message to the world leaders, as well as future world leaders who are currently youth activists, as well as to people who will watch us online, on how to reach sustainability? Just a short message to inspire them to take this path, which is very uneasy in many circumstances, full of challenges, but it's still worth it, worth all these challenges.
Okay, I go first. So my message would be like, for me, the age bracket from 20 to 30 for youth is really important. This is the time in which they can do whatever they want. So if they cross their this bracket age, then they can just promote or explore more what they have already achieved. So they have to be a motivation factor for everyone, for all people in the society. So I think this is all the energy which comes up from this age bracket. So for me, this is the message, that don't sit at home, just be outside and let's make a change.
My message is it's important that we continue working to comply with the SDGs, in all SDGs, make the government part of the solution among the civil society with the young people. That is important because the young people represent the more percent of the population in different countries, and it's an opportunity to know different initiatives, in special initiative for Latin America, because in the context about COVID-19, different countries in Latin America have different problems, in special and in different sector, and with education and health and different problems. But the government have an opportunity to generate different innovations, in special the working with the data. This is basic to the generate different solutions around the country, and it is my this is my message, and it's important work a lot.
Okay, I'll go next. So my message would be the climate issue and any other environmental issue is a youth issue. The reason why I say that, because it's a youth issue, because the action that we are doing right now and the decision that we made right now will impact our future in the next 10 years. So if we want to, we want to see the positive change in the future, then we need to be part of the process. So for the people out there, please empower yourself, be informed, be educated, and be engaged, because we are the future, and we don't want to see we don't want our children and the grandchildren blame us in the future. Yeah, I think that's from me.
Say, let's not be okay until everyone else is okay. You'd find out that in areas like Zimbabwe, where we have 60% of the population living in the rural areas, those are the people that really needs to be empowered. And now with this global pandemic, everything is happening virtually, which means that most of the people are being left behind. They cannot even afford data to go online. They do not even have access to internet. The basic human needs of having electricity, they don't even have, be it renewable energy. So I would say that it would be good to come up with a good approach, an inclusive approach, so as to leave no one behind, as the Sustainable Development Goals agenda requires us to. Let's make sure that as we do all our initiatives, those people that are in the rural areas, they are not being left behind. They are the ones who need these platforms the most than us. So this will be my word.
So much. I think there would no better way to finish our today's conversation. We are not okay until all of us are okay. Yes, it's the whole message from the youth today. We shall be communicating with each other. We shall be sharing our voices, especially for those who cannot raise their voice in terms of different circumstances, not the least lack of access to internet and other resources. We shall strive for all those young people who are vulnerable, who have some problems with getting this access, which is very natural for all human beings. Just to recollect my first saying that we are all in one boat. We shall be safe only if everybody is safe. Thank you so much for this enormously valuable conversation, for these enriching thoughts, and I do really hope that it may be somehow a kind of tradition to have these conversations quite regularly, showcasing our achievements, showcasing new ideas, new projects, having more participants. Thank you so much for being today, and I think it was probably one of the best Valentine's Day in terms of love, of this enormous energy that you just spread all over yourself, in your communities, in your countries, and all over the world. Each of these contributions, each of these seeds of love which you've today shared is meaningful, and I hope it will be planted in other communities. Thank you so much.